attention, baby. I can't make a move. Like a child, starved for love. I stayed there as long as I had to. I'll cry a river of tears that flows to the sea. Baby, if you run away,
what's going on, guys? Landon Huffman here, back with another race day vlog. It is Cars Tour Throwback race day here at Hickory Motor Speedway. I'm in my Autos by Nelson black tire number 22. I'm gonna take you guys with us along for the ride. It's an early morning, so we got out here super early. So my intro, I'm already in my suit. We're about to get going here for first practice, but a full day of racing, and I'm gonna take you guys with us. Shout out to Victory Fuel for the hookup. Kevin Swindell. I'd like to at least run a race today. I feel like that's probably a lot of races. So we were fastest in final practice, really good. Fastest overall today as well. Ran like a 14.90. So I was super happy with that. We're actually getting ready. We just got through rolling through tech, getting ready to qualify here. So I might have to get dressed soon, but really happy with our black tire, Autos by Nelson number 22. We'll see what happens. I haven't been this excited for a Cars Tour race in a very long time. I think we've got a great piece under us. This Reynolds Racing chassis is solid, and just have to start up front, get a good qualifying lap, and then kind of see what happens.
See those decals, especially those fans that, again, are rare and ready to go to jump out of the racetrack here in a few minutes for the Fan Fest. You're going to notice those small details, and that's what the USAR had back in the day. All those there's a lot going on for the Solid Carriers cars. I know start. Then he has Speedway in North Carolina. Fan Fest is.
We were fastest in final practice.
Oh, that Townsend I got is a 04. I looked at it at the shop, it says 04, so it's a 04 Townsend Center.
we just got through Fan Fest, qualified 9th, not what I wanted. The track was super greasy. It had set for like 3 hours, obviously, between the final practice and qualifying, and we had to go out early, so I think that hurt us. I think our car is way better than a ninth place car, so I'm confident in the race car. Frustrated that we didn't qualify any better, but that's done and over with. We're best starting position that the 22's had all year in the Cars Tour, so that's a small win, even though we're not kind of up where I felt like we needed to be. But got a good race car. Hopefully the rain holds off. It doesn't look very good right now. Pro late models are lined up and they're going to get rolling for I think 100, and then we got 125 after. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna get out of this suit until it's time to go, but the rain does not look good.
I'm alive.
What's our synopsis here?
Here's it's raining. Came up a frog strangler there a little bit ago, but they're drying the track. They're dragging tires around here. We got the air titans out.
It did just start raining again.
Yeah, but I can see sky over there. We're good. We'll get it in. It'll be about 2 in the morning by the time we get out of here. But
all right. Well, I'm glad you're all right. I'm glad that people can see it. They got fireworks going off because they've rescheduled us for tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We got to be here at 12. Obviously, it's going to be a day race, so they're not going to be able to shoot those off tomorrow. So the rain is still drizzling, but it was an absolute mess down there. So they let us load the cars up after they told us we were going to leave them out. And it's an impound race, so kind of a mess, but we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see. If we get more rain, it'll just wash it off.
Got to lay there, and a squirrel jumped off the tree in front of him.
We are out here on Sunday, and it is raining again. So they got the pro cars on the front stretch. They were about to get going, and now it's raining. So we are going to wait a little while longer.
We've got the best late model stock drivers in the country right here. And beside me, a former USAR photographer, Mike Horn, is going to give the most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, fire up the hot rod.
Pace car, the USAR pace car, going to dive to the safety of the pit lane in the KRC power steering start zone, and a big wiggle for Cade Brown will set us off here at Hickory. Green flag in the air. Cade Brown able to gather it up after that shaky start. He'll lead lap number 1, but Mason Diaz didn't get quite the launch that he wanted. He'll be side by side for Carson Quapple, who now checks up there on the bottom side, gets a little bit loose, and will slot himself right into 3rd in front of Bobby McCarty. Bassett Jr., big stack up there on the bottom, just in front of Connor Zilish.
You mentioned several times how the pro late model drivers were chomping at the bit to get underway. The same could apply to the late model stock cars because they are fighting for positions all throughout the running order. First side-by-side battle is for 5th, double wide, 4 rows deep, as you've got the 04 Bassett inside of Lane Briggs in the 62, Connor Zilish in the 98, and Honeycutt in the 45.
And again, nowhere to go right now. 2 by 2 if you're Caden Honeycutt, trying to make that outside work over Connor Zilish, who's trapped there on the bottom. Lane Riggs was able to get by on the high side just a lap ago, but now has his hands full with Caden Honeycutt. Great battle here that, again, is going on just outside the top 5.
Zilish to the inside, trying to fill the hole.
Well, again, it was an interesting conversation that Lane Riggs had about the decision to have a throwback there in that number 62 as he tries to clear and looks like he's going to be able to do so over Caden Honeycutt. Was talking to Kevin Harvick about it, and Kevin made the decision, we're going to throw back to Caraway in the number 62 car. So try to repeat everything that they did there to try and end up in Edelbrock victory lane this time.
Right now, Riggs able to wrestle himself away from all this fighting for position that is going on. Look who's entered the frame inside of the Aaron Stream machine, the 00 of Chad McCumbee. That's the number 22 of Landon Huffman. Many drivers pointing to this Nelson Motorsports car, and Landon himself has said this is one of the best cars he's had here, especially in terms of cars to a late model stock competition, and he is moving forward quickly now inside of McCumbee, who gets loose on the top side.
Well, again, Landon was here a couple of months ago, but was driving for his family-owned team in Huffman Racing, and feels that with the power, with all the support of Nelson Motorsports, feels very confident that at a track he knows so well, being the defending track champion. Again, saw a lot of 22 shirts out in the grandstands here today. He's got a lot of people pulling for the Claremont Kid as he's trying to get by Chad McCumbee.
Just behind, he's got Connor Hall in the 4 car. That's going to take some getting used to. That's the Jay Fogelman throwback we alluded to earlier. Of Landon Huffman just up the road, more fighting for position. 45 of Honeycutt, 98 of Zilish.
Huffman's going to go around. Caution is out as Connor Hall, you saw it there on your screen, was trying to get to the inside of Landon Huffman. The Jay Fogelman throwback gets into the back of the Jason Sarvis throwback off of turn number 2. Again, the defending winner of this throwback race, and Connor Hall parks it just in front of his teammate in Mason Diaz. And I can remember a weekly show that happened the night after right here at Hickory Motor Speedway where these two didn't exactly see eye to eye, had a little bit of exchange of words. Can't imagine that that relationship is mended after this. Cade Brown, Mason Diaz that will lead us back into the KRC Power Steering restart zone. Perhaps a touch as they launch him once again. And we are back under green here at Hickory as Mason Diaz may try to take his claim of the race lead. They will stay side by side off of turn 2. Cade Brown, though, will clear as Quapple and Diaz go side by side.
Brown's going to be able to hold on to the lead. Diaz in at number 52, throwing it back to Kirk Leone, who was a former owner of the Southern National Motorsports Park, which the Diaz family now has the reins to. He's now up into that second spot. The Brian Ross 42 of Carson Quapple runs in third, door to door throughout the rest of the top 10.
And much like we saw on that last restart, single file up front, followed by a lot of side-by-side behind him. Ronnie Bassett Jr. looks to get the benefit of his restart. lot of spots through this field so far.
Rubbing along the side of Ryan Millington as we got a car off the pace on the back straightaway, and that is number 92 of Brian Barnhill, who is doing everything he can to get off the racing groove in his Hal Vincent throwback. Not sure if that car is under power. We'll see if it'll make it back to the pit area.
Yeah, I'm not sure that is pulling it close. Cade Brown and Mason Diaz side by side. You're going to see them kind of fly by that car that I just don't know if it has enough juice to get down into the pit area. And just before he gets into the pits, they are indeed going to throw the third Volt battery caution of the night. The first time this season will lead us into the KRC Power Steering restart zone off of turn 4. 53 laps to go here at Hickory, and it is on up front for the race lead. Mason Diaz going to be able to just clear off a 2, but just like the doctor ordered, side by side for a moment for second.
Looked as though Quapo was trying to fill the void down the inside of that 42 car. Could not quite get alongside Cade Brown in that battle for the second spot. And they'll remain single file across the front 4. And now it's Ronnie Bassett Jr. on the bottom in the 04. The 98 of Connor Zilish up top side by side for the 5th position.
Zilish doing everything he can to try to hold Ronnie Bassett Jr. at bay, and has really been able to kind of work both lanes. You have to wonder, how much does that pro late model experience from a little bit earlier today, no entirely different race cars that he's driving, but you have to imagine that extra track time that nobody else in this field would have been able to get. He was able to drive last evening, he was able to drive today before this race started as a stack up just around Jacob Hefner, and perhaps the same issue with Austin McDaniel with a hood pin that may have come loose on that number 12 car.
Are we seeing double? Because it looks like both of the hoods on the 62 and 12 cars are starting to flap in the breeze.
Today. In the KRC Power Steering restart zone, though, 33 laps to go. Mason Diaz and Cade Brown door to door for the race lead in the throwback here at Hickory.
These restarts are starting to get a lot more physical as you see the hoods continuing to flap there in the midfield. On the inside, Mason Diaz to the point. Here comes Carson Quapo to potentially challenge Brown for second. Not going to be able to get alongside just yet, but Brown slips up off 2.
Brown with a little bit of a wiggle, and again, Carson Quapo, I think you mentioned it perfectly earlier, has been so committed down to that inside line. He's going to be able to clear Bobby McCarty there off of turn number 4 as McCarty and Bassett now. That is for the 4th position as we see it funnel out front. They are still 2 by 2 as the flapping issue for Lane Riggs does not appear to be improving, and Zilish is going to go around. Caden Honeycutt hard into the outside wall. Connor Hall will go down into the pit lane to miss the trouble, but Caden Honeycutt gets the worst end of it as that Ross Chastain throwback. here at Hickory. Into the KRC Power Steering restart zone when we are back underway. An equal launch from the front row between Mason Diaz in the 52 and Cade Brown in the 44 side by side. Carson Quapple may look to make it 3 wide, but thought better of it getting down into turn number 3.
That may have been a championship move right there by Quapple inside of row 2. How about Cade Brown by half a car length, having the lead that time as they go into 1, and they're starting to rub and nudge even more off the corner.
No room given between these top 2. Bobby McCarty also trying to make a move on Carson Quapple for 3rd. To the stripe, give it to Mason Diaz as they may trade a little more paint amongst their throwback schemes up front. Cade Brown, hard charge here on the top side, might have Diaz clear off of the corner.
Good.
All right, not what we wanted. P17, we were running 9th or 10th. They're in the inside of the top 10, like 25 laps in, and I felt like we had a pretty good car. And Connor Hall drove flat over us, literally 25 laps into the race, turned us around. After that, I don't know what happened. If something happened, I had like you guys probably heard it on here already, but something was going on in the exhaust, or it was like flopping around, crackling back and forth, and then also the front end would not stay down. So I don't know if we had a shock problem or what, but it was just flying the nose horribly after that and caused me to have no drive, wrecking loose entry. I mean, it's everything I could do to hold on to it. When you can't control the platform like that, it's rough. So I don't know if something broke in the front end or if we just weren't in traffic at all, and when the pace slowed down, hasn't been that slow all weekend, obviously. And then, when it slows down the race like that, we just got off the front end, just the load was off the front end, so it was just flying it, which made the car handle horribly. But really disappointed, unfortunate, but live to fight another day. Blessed to race the race car as always. Thankful for this opportunity with Nelson Motorsports. Thank you to Barry Nelson for giving me that opportunity, and thank you to Black's Tire for supporting us this race weekend. The next car store event will be Ace in 2 weeks, but we'll be back here at Hickory next Saturday, or this Saturday, it's Sunday, for 75 lapper and my Huffman Racing High Rock Boxer 75. So thank you guys for all the support. I'll catch you in the next video. I'm out.